We've just had the New World Dev update and we've had a very important roadmap. Unfortunately, I think it's going to leave people feeling underwhelmed, but in this video I want to give you 9 of the biggest reveals from that and the dev update itself. If you want to support me, then becoming a YouTube member is truly the best way to do so. I would very much appreciate it. So in no particular order, let's start. Number 1, a world boss is coming with the Winter Convergence Festival. The Winter Warrior is basically going to be very similar to the Halloween event. It's going to be that kind of world spawn that you're going to have to take a lot of people with. It's an open world raid boss effectively, and the Winter Convergence Festival, you obviously use that to buy stuff from the store. Nice to see these though, because it just feels like a good group activity. The second thing to point out is that the shell mitigation is actually changing a little bit. It used to be that you needed 35 people from your company when you were defending. That's been changed to needing 40, and you needed 10 people when you were attacking from your own company, but that's actually been changed to 25. Effectively, you need now a bigger group of people, so a bigger company, to participate in wars. That could cause problems for small number guilds, companies, but overall I think that's probably a positive change. The next thing is there's going to be a new expedition, the Empyrean Forge. Now this is coming in 2 parts. The first is going to be related to the Varangians, and it's the first expedition that's going to be you fighting against humans, and they hinted that new itemization might come along with that. A bit of me wonders if we're going to get new ward gear, but importantly, is that going to work in PvP? Because in PvP you're obviously facing against humans. That will be fascinating to see, and that is coming in spring. The next thing is we're going to be getting gear set, storage and management. That's also coming out in spring. That's something we've been craving forever. It needs to happen as soon as possible. Well, it sounds like it's going to be happening in spring. The next thing that is also happening in spring is that the questing post level 25 is being reworked, and they're going to be doing Weaver's Fen and Brightwood, and that's obviously going to resolve around the main story quest. That's good. I hope we get a chance to play that properly as a level 60 rather than seeing fresh or something like that again. Let's just have our existing characters play that, and I think we'll all like that. And then let's talk about summer. One of the big things that they mentioned is transmog, something that I am amazed has actually taken this long so we actually get a date, but it is coming in summer of 2023. And with that, and perhaps more importantly, there's going to be a list of collectibles. So it sounds like there's going to be some sort of UI element where you can see what you need to collect and you need to get the transmog of, or other things I would guess as well. Maybe like mounts when we eventually get them. That will be fascinating to see. And the next thing is we are going to get raid groups. Now I'm separating this from raids themselves because this is actually interesting in its own way. You're going to be able to create a raid group of having basically 20 people in that group, and it sounds like you'll be able to do that for almost anything. Probably not like expeditions, but maybe it'll extend to Outpost Rush. Possibly, maybe not, maybe we'll have to wait and see. But definitely it sounds like you'll be able to do that in the open world. So that will make world PvP in large groups a little bit better. And then the next thing I do want to talk about is that actual raid itself. The giant worm is confirmed, and the raids themselves are going to be called Elite Trials. I'm assuming that's going to be 20 person in size. They yet again reiterated that it's going to be very, very difficult, and that's what they're actually hoping for. I hope they don't make it too difficult, but you know, maybe they should start doing difficulty levels for raids, but that's a whole different kettle of fish that we're not going to talk about here. And then the next thing is, for me, actually a little bit of a sour point. Yes, we are going to get cross-world outpost rushes. Unfortunately, it's coming in summer. Now, for me, that's quite a long time away. That's going to be nearly 2 years after the game has come out. It's probably 18 months or something like that. I just feel like that's a little bit slow, and it's a shame that it's not happening quicker. I understand that they probably have technical challenges and stuff like that, but for me, that's a little bit of a pain point. What's actually more important with that announcement though is that they did not announce a new type of Outpost Rush, either a new map or a new game mode. Now, of course, they could surprise us with one of those things, but the fact that they've not put it on the roadmap, for me, is a little bit of a concern. I was joking about in the stream, I do not want to play Outpost Rush for another year. I can't be doing 2 years of that. My brain just will not work, I don't think. They did mention a couple of other things, so let's just quickly run down those. Town projects, it sounds like are going to get easier to do in this patch, because they were finding that once they took away the XP, nobody was doing them. Makes sense. The Springtime Bloom is going to be the festival that's in spring. It sounds like you're going to be harvesting flowers, and you're going to need some bug repellent to keep away the bugs. Going to be a classic event with tokens and a store and that kind of stuff. Sounds good. The Summer Medley Fair will be making a return. I think we can pretty much expect these seasons to happen every season, but there will also be some added tweaks, I imagine, as well. Now, they didn't say when, but we are also going to get a free weekend so that everybody can play. That's interesting considering how badly they messed up the previous one, where they opened an absolute shed ton of servers and then nobody played in them. Very curious indeed. On the roadmap itself, they do highlight that there will be more Heartrune gems. We sort of expected that to come because we're getting one of those with the Amrine and Starstone mashup, and they mentioned that there will be more cinematics, and of course some quality of life improvements. Now I have to confess, overall my thoughts were effectively a little bit of disappointment. Yes, I'm very happy with gear sets, yes I'm very happy with transmog, and yes I'm happy with raids, but we sort of already knew that they were coming and it's nice to have those finalized. However, when I look at the roadmap, for me that is not a roadmap of a company that is spending all of their effort to make content for that game in that year. What do I mean by that? I think this is a roadmap that tells us an expansion is going to come at the end of 2023. Now I'll talk more about that in probably tomorrow's video, but I'm putting a little bit of a bet out there. If we don't get an announcement of an expansion before the first half of 2023, I'm going to donate £100 to charity. My wife doesn't know about that. She's probably going to kill me because I'm not that rich. But I'm very confident that we're going to get an expansion announcement soon. And I still think it's going to come at the Game Awards. I've been saying this literally now for a year. The Game Awards are coming next week. I will be streaming that. Come along and tune in. But they did say they were going to do less frequent patches, but with bigger stuff in them. That is, I think, an indication of that. It's also a little bit suspicious that Autumn isn't in that list. So maybe I'm just super high on copium, but I honestly believe that something else will be happening other than just what we see on this roadmap, because that roadmap, taken at face value, is a little bit weak in itself. However, I think things will make sense as we see in the next coming weeks. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. What you should definitely do though, if you want to stick around and stay up to date with New World stuff, is like and subscribe. And if you really want to help me grow the channel, then becoming a YouTube member is truly the best way. Have a most beautiful day. Goodbye.